All right, ladies and gentlemen, traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. Ladies and gentlemen, this particular recap is brought to you by my very own Discord. What is Discord, you might say? Well, this is a trading chat room that we have here, which now has over 5,100 members. So if you want to be a part of the conversation, if you want to be a part of the team, see all the call outs, interact and engage with all the traders, this is the place to do it. And not only is this place the place to do it, this is the place to network. It's a safe space for all traders, whether you're long bias, short bias, large caps or small caps. All right, you guys can join today. Check it out, become a part of the community. And only people who are a part of the community can get the chance to, of course, join the team house, right? Being a part of the Discord, being a part of the classes, that's how it can be done. So be sure to check out the Relentless Trading chat room today. With that being said, let's talk about the crazy day here that we had trading stock NEXI, which was halted up here for dilution, and other stocks in ALT, VIEW, and HCDI. We'll talk about all these stocks, what we've done well, what we could improve on. We'll talk about how we found these stocks to trade. We'll talk about the entries that we took. We'll talk about the setups and the patterns that we took. We'll also talk about how we were looking to manage risk. So before we really jump into it, guys, remember, it's important for me to say this. You guys guessed it, the disclaimer. Day trading, like any other business here in the United States of America, is risky. All right, day trading is not easy. It never was. It never will be. So if you are new, or even if you've been around and you're not consistently making money, it's a good idea to use small size. Small size, utilize the simulators, practice, build experience, and become competent. And then when you're seeing consistency, you can increase your risk. You can take on, more share size. You can put more money behind your trade as you're seeing consistency. That's the right way to do it. That way you're not risking a ton, losing a bunch as you're trying to learn. There's no need for your market tuition to be this big when it can just be this big. So do what is necessary to ensure success. Remember, the market is not a place for those high emotions, pride, and all that stuff, right? We have to surrender to the markets and do what's right. Other than that, remember to be careful with the impersonators and the scammers. There's a lot of people pretending to be me on social media, including Discord, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, every platform. Remember, I do not invest for my subscribers. I will never ask you for money or personal information, and I will never message you. I'll never message you first. Lastly, the live streams and recaps are not an invitation to copy trade. There's a system here, there's a strategy, and we'll talk more about it later in the video. With that being said, let's officially start up the recap. Hit that thumbs up. Here we go. So on the day, we're up $3,500 back-to-back, good solid days here. The market is hot, and so we're trying our best to stick around as much as possible and trade throughout the entirety of the day. For those of you who are in the classes, I will upload the afternoon trades here for NEXI. Yes, I do have all of it recorded up, from the screen here up above. So you guys will be able to watch it back with the level 2, fast forward, rewind, and do whatever you need to do to help study up, all right? So, Relentless, how did you find the stocks that you were looking to trade today? Guys, part of the beauty of the market and this type of style of trading that I trade is that, with technology, it's becoming simpler and simpler. Now, is day trading easy? Of course not. We mentioned it's already hard. But in terms of how I find stocks to trade, guys, I'm using a platform called Momo Pro, right? Momo Pro scans the entire market for all the stocks that are moving, the entire market of like 10, 15,000 stocks. And it compiles this list for me. I want to see stocks that are up a high percentage with good volume and a lower float, right? We also have relative volume here, right? So these are the filters that I'm looking at, right? I want to trade momentum, stocks that can move fast, up and down, good volatile stocks. And I wake up and I come, you can see this particular scan here is called Relentless Momo. But you know what? You don't even need to design a filter because you can filter for percentage gains, right? And yeah, there'll be stocks that might have had some crazy splits, cheap stocks that might have moved up a lot. But you can, even without having an actual filter, you can come and scroll down and still see the stocks that you need. You don't even need a filter, right? But I happen to have the Relentless Momo filter, right? And that gives me the exact stocks that I need here. But it's important for me to mention at the beginning of the day, I do use the no filter because it shows me every single thing. You'll realize that my filter do not have stocks below $1. Sometimes I want to see those stocks. So NEXI, this is one of the ones that I traded today. VIEW, this is another one of the ones I traded today. PAPL, didn't trade this one, but it seems like it moved up in after hours. And as we go down, you guys will see that there are a few others. This one right here, HCDI, I traded earlier when it was up about 60-70%. So that's how I found the stocks that I traded today. If you guys are interested in the scanner, it's called Momo Pro. And I have your back here. If you use coupon code Relentless, you can get 25% off for 6 months. The Momo Pro Plus, which is what you need, is 30 bucks. 25% off, boom, you have your scanner forever. Right? So, okay, now Relentless, you showed us how you found the stocks that you wanted to trade, right? What patterns and setups were you looking at now? And so for somebody who's a very beginner, if you're watching on this video, there's still a lot of stuff that you're not going to know. For example, why am I looking at a stock that's up a certain amount of percentage? Why am I looking at a stock that's up a certain amount of volume? Why am I looking at a stock where the float is lower? Or what is the float? What is that even? Guys, there's a system, there's a strategy. I do have classes. So, if on every recap I go over every single reason why I'm looking at a stock, the recaps will be 5 hours long. It's just not doable, right? So I'll try to keep it as simple as I can, especially for the OG people who are already watching for months and years. All right, so Relentless, what patterns and setups were you looking for today? So let's talk about HCDI. This is the first one that I traded. So this stock here was on the watch list as a potential maybe. We had a high point of 159, a low point of 108 in pre-market. And so we're watching at this thing and we would love to see the red to green. So we're holding up these levels here, and we're kind of coming down here. And so it's essentially giving a bit of a wedge, right? And we have the high point and the low point. Hey, can we see the red to green? Can we see the red to green pattern as we come into the open? So to start the day, this thing had a high of 28 and a low of 18, a bit of a 10-cent range. And from there, it started to push up slowly. But you can see it was a bit of a slow grind, right? Not as strong and crazy as some of the other stocks. So we went up from 28 to 32, and then from 32 to 36. From 36, it gives a big drop here. And this ended up being a good VWAP bounce, low of 23, and pushed up all the way nicely to 41. I ended up fumbling this trade. So, I talked about how the bigger key setups, I ended up botching on this stock. Right here, so I missed this dip. This is a beautiful strategy that we talk about in classes, the VWAP dip. So it goes to show you, even times, I will make mistakes and I will miss the trades. My timing could be a little off. I might not, in this case, might not hold the trade long enough. You end up missing it. But anyhow, it goes up into a 3-bar play. So over 40, we get a push here to 50. So from 40 to 50, this is a nice 3-bar play. So we've already recognized 2 patterns that we look for in the classes. The VWAP dip and the 3-bar play, right? So there are 2 patterns there. And even, within that, there's the baby pullback, right? So what is the baby pullback? That's when we get a dip without a red candle. So again, going back from this first high that we had, which was 28, and then a low of 19, that's about a 10-cent drop. And from 19, it goes all the way back to 32, right? So from 19, if I can position myself being around 20, 21, this thing gets all the way to 32, which is about 10 cents, right? So that's how we're making money, right? So if I have, we'll keep the math simple. If I have 1,000 shares in at 20 and I'm selling at 30, for every penny the stock goes up or down, I can make or lose $10. So if I'm in at 20 and it goes to 30, and I make 10 cents, 10 times 10 is $100. I would have made $100 here. And so that's essentially what we're doing with this hyper scalping style. Commissions are free, and these brokers love when we trade a ton. And so, it's a good relationship. They get what they want, we get what we want. That kind of sounded funny, but anyhow. Oh, that's hilarious. That's so funny. Stay focused. So, that's how we're making money, and we're watching the patterns, right? So there's essentially three patterns that we're already seeing in the first 3 or 4 minutes of the day. And then again, we push up here to 50, it dips to a low of 38. We get another 3-bar play right here. A bit of a topping wick, but it continues up to 61, and then we get this massive pullback. So the breakout trade here ended up being pretty good. And then we got a pullback right here. I got in a little early. This is another one of those dips that I messed up. I'm in a little early to view up, and I ended up stopping out right here at the very low of the move. And this did go without me. This was a little bit of a disappointing area here, but sometimes it does happen, man. So we got a nice curl, and from here, we start to see a little bit of the W, the A, B, C, D pattern, right? So we have the lows, we have the midpoint. In fact, I should use my drawing tool over here, right? We have the move down for lows. We come up, we get a midpoint, right? We come down, higher low, and this held up VWAP right here, and then the surge. There are two entries that we're looking for here. First, either so some people, and I did buy here, sometimes you can buy here, but okay, you get stopped out. There's two other entries you can still watch. Either the midpoint or the higher low. So Relentless, what am I looking for if I'm buying the midpoint? Well, you're not buying it at 45 because this is at 945 right here, right? You're actually looking to buy it as we curl back up over here. So let's assume this is about 148 in price. When we get up to 148 in price over here, this is the area you're looking to go long with a tight stop. Some people might have it all the way at the lows for the stop, but sometimes some people have it tighter, like myself. If I'm in here and I'm watching it for a breakout trade, if I'm in at 50 area, 40, well, let's say this is about 50, right? If I'm in there, and we can check the exact price. What's the high? 46. If I'm in at 46 and I'm watching for the break at 50, I don't need to wait to stop out all the way at 34. If I'm in at 46 and I see 42, this thing doesn't want to go, I'm out of there. I can always get back in, right? So that's the middle point entry. And now you have the low, which is at, and we should have checked this here, let's see, 34. If I'm in here at 34, risk is at the low of this last area, which was 28. And boom, from 34, we go all the way up here to the highs. Lovely, right? So despite missing the key dips, this is how I was able to still end green with small, entries like this. Still able to end green. What did we continue to see after that? After the nice move up, we ended up getting this beautiful flag. So this is now, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, over here a little tricky, but we can say 5 or 6. Right, and then after this, there's definitely a huge one here for 7, and then even this bottoming wick right back into the previous high, 8. There's already 8 areas we could have been buying this stock. 8 areas, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I teach in my classes. So we just spoke about a little bit about the risk just now, right? This particular trade here, I'm buying at the VWAP level. If it goes lower, I'm stopping out because it's already supposed to be at support. Right, and so right here is why I got caught stopping out, because I thought we were already at support and end up going lower, right? So sometimes you'll get chopped out of the trade, but if you keep it tight, you can always still get back in, manage the risk. The upside can come later. So again, right here, if you're in this area and you want to keep it tight, you can. If you want to hold to the lows, you can. If you're in here and you want to hold to the previous lows, you can. So in terms of risk, that's how we're managing the risk, right? Down here, this thing is pulling back into the previous high of day, right? High of day was at 40, what was that, 61? The low of this candle is what, 56. So it overshoots by a couple cents, but we snap right back up. And this is one of the trades that I did take nicely here. We can show, I'll show this particular trade here. What is this, 950? I'm going to show you guys real time. This is what is called the archive. So when we say, hey, you guys can see our live trading, this is exactly what we mean. Is it, I think it's this one. What's today, the 1st? Yeah. Let me get the timestamp, which is 950. So in my classes, this is one of the setups we call the panic flush. So let's come back, right? Let's come right here. So so again, as mentioned, right? I got caught in the flush down, ended up giving back some profits. And there are some other areas that were really good too. So it's coming down, we're watching. There's 62. I can't remember if I took 4,000 shares here. It might have been the other area. Because there's a few levels. All right, so I'm watching. Notice that there's a seller here of 10,000, 13,067. I'm going to wait for it to come a little lower. Waiting. Boom, there it is. There's the level 56. So the moment it comes down and I like it, I'm buying immediately. So I'm in at 56 and we saw 66. It's a little volatile, right? We saw 66. I'm trying to get out at that higher fill, but it fluctuates so quickly that I don't get the fill I wanted, but it does curl back up eventually, right? I'm gonna take back another entry at 61 because I still like it to continue. So I take the first couple of cents. 61 to 56 still close proximity. We're now at 67, 68, right? So that was one of the beautiful bottoming wicks that we caught. Again, this stock right here. I made $500 on it, but I really and truly should have made like 3,000-4,000. The amount of timing issues that I had and mistakes that I made was like higher than usual here. In the first move up, I wasn't as aggressive as I should have been, and that did cost me because I should have already been way green. Then I ended up getting caught in the flush here. So I then went on the defensive and ended up waiting a little bit. Yeah, so we ended up catching a nice dip there, and this ended up coming back up to about 67, I believe, before kind of. So we're going to take something off there, and then we're going to sell the rest here 67. So there's 67, 68. So, again, these trades, they happen, but you got to be confident in the levels, and you got to be fearless. You got to be sharp, man. Trading is such a performance-based sport. You have to be sharp. You have to be sharp as you're watching and waiting for the opportunities. And I think there's another area. There's another area that I can show that I thought was pretty decent. I think it might have been here, the VWAP. So again, we're coming down to that level where we had support 55, 56. So I'm watching, and I'm going to take it right here. I'm in, and I realize I want more size. Because you see this delay here in me buying twice. It's going to take me a while to realize I need to be in more size. And so we add again, and it pushes up a little bit. From 56, we get to 62. And again, it's a couple of cents at a time. Couple of cents. Hey, can we get a couple of cents off of these moves? All right. So that was HCDI. Again, we already saw about 8 different patterns that this thing gave. From right here, from 70 up to 96. And we focused on dip trades so far. Let's go back and see what I did on this particular area here. What time is that? 55. So we got to go back, actually. So I had areas where I gave back profits, right? So watch this right here. You know, we got a low of 62, high of 70. Can we break out and get the new high on this flag? So I'm watching here for break of 70. I'm in. Can we see 75 and 80? I'm in. I'm watching. I take the couple cents. Initially, but I'm gonna realize, okay, it's still looking good because we start to stall out a little bit. I get back in right here, 67, 68 area. Oh, a little higher, 60, 63 perhaps, 70, 73 rather. Oh, 71 fill. There's a seller here. Let's go back. There's a seller of 80,000. But when the volume is high and people are buying and short sellers are covering, it's like hot knife going through butter. I'm in 71. Where's that seller? I'm pretty sure I saw a seller just now. Or maybe not. There's so 86,000 shares at 75. This is either going to get filled rather quickly or the order might have been canceled because we ripped through instantaneously, right? I've already hit the buy button. I'm already in 71, well, basically 72 actually. And this is what we call a good breakout trade. This thing is all the way up here at 87, 88. And I was looking for just 75, 80. All right. So that's the breakout trade there in effect. Ladies and gentlemen, that's enough archive. Again, these videos are only for my students. I do show them on YouTube from time to time. All right. So yeah, that's essentially how we made money, trading those patterns, right? So if you want to learn the patterns, if you want to see exactly what we do when it comes to these patterns, right? You know, you guys can check out the classes. The links are down below, Merciless Markets University. And we do it in full, you know, presentation style, right? We talk about buying that VWAP pullback. We talk about what it is, how it looks, how to recognize it. You know, what are the key indicators? It's all here, right? We show a ton of examples, where we're looking to buy, where we're looking to sell. Guys, if you want to get started, be sure to check it out and be sure to utilize the coupon codes that we have. This particular video is us going over what it looks like, right? So we talk about what it looks like, then we talk about how we actually trade it with examples. So we'll show you examples of us trading it, what we look for, how we manage the risk, right? And then again, every day we're uploading the video like I just showed, you know, showing people how we trade it every day, right? So if you want to see the ins and outs, right? The bear trap pattern, which is this one here, right? The bear trap pattern, the panic flush, the VWAP bounce. Guys. It's all here. It's all here. It is all here. So be sure to check out the classes, Merciless Markets University. As we know, these markets are merciless, so be sure to check it out. Utilize coupon code DREAM for 50% off. If you cannot afford the course, we have a crash course that is free with coupon code SUBSCRIBER. So if you can't afford the actual course, we still have something for you. It's not a ton, but you do get a few free chapters. You get a few free what's it called, patterns, and a few free edges, and then the one free pattern, one free edge, and one free archive from myself, Marcelo, and Tim. All right, so you get 3 different perspectives, and that the pattern that we give away is the halt pattern, which is this one right here. The halt pattern we traded yesterday. In fact, we traded it today, to be honest, because we didn't even cover all the stocks, right? There's so many stocks. I'm up 3,600 today, or 3,500. One of the stocks that I traded, we talked about the halt pattern, was VIEW. VIEW, we made 400 on this one. And you see how it's like much more scattered here on the charts versus the other stock? It's because it was getting halted so many times, right? VIEW. Jeez. Yeah, let's enlarge this on E-Trade. E-Trade has a better representation of the halts. So you can see it's going up, it's halted for 10 minutes, halted for 5 minutes, up, down. This is what we call the halt pattern. So when you guys see me clicking on it here in the classes, this is me talking about this exact pattern right here. Again, at first there's the depiction of what we're looking for, and then we have live examples. So be sure to check it out in full, in detail. Utilize those coupon codes. Speaking of halt resumption, stock NEXI. So the exchange can halt a stock, right? Whether to do an investigation for news. Sometimes the company might want to release a headline, and so they'll reach out and get the stock halted. A stock can be halted for various amount of reasons, and today stock NEXI was very strong pre-market and was halted up since 8:24 a.m. resumed trading all the way down at $6 compared to the high point that we had around 11. So this one dropped off almost 50%. The news on this was a dilution, like an accusation, right? And so, the stock opened up much lower. And sometimes this is how it goes, right? I think I meant to say offering, right? It's like an offering, right? So we open up lower, and where I was able to capture profits was a little bit on this green candle, and then really on this move up right here. This went from a low of 453 to a high of 843, almost 100%. And we can check the percentage gain here. Let's bring out the segment, and let's see, about 85%. So in this 85% move is where I was able to add. So I was up 900. I think at the end of the live stream, we added another 2,600, and it wasn't smooth. I was green 1,800, I think, on the first two candles here. This, sometimes trading is not easy. Again, so, I'm giving away so much here. We have the halt. We have the move up. It dips. It's not in the same candle, but it dips and rips. I'm in on this candle down here. I'm selling up here. And then I lose money all on this red candle here. Got too aggressive. So green 1,800. Then by the end of this, I'm only green 400. And then from here, we go back to being up 2,600. Crazy stuff. And along the way here, you can see there's the baby pullback, which we mentioned earlier. The a bit of a 3-bar play here. You can say it's a bit of a flag as well if you look at it. So we got the flagpole. Also a small bottoming wick, which then goes into more of a 3-bar play right here. The same patterns over and over. Is day trading easy? Of course not. It's very difficult. It's very hard. It's the hardest thing that I've ever had to do. It's the hardest thing that I continue to do. But if I'm doing it, it must mean that it's possible. If Marcelo is doing it, it must mean it's possible. Tim is doing it, likewise. All the guys in the day trading team house, Calamity, Crispy, all of these guys, Alfredo, now Marcelo's brother, right? Alfredo joining in, trading in the sim, right? If these people are doing it, it must mean that it's possible to do. Is it hard? Of course it's hard. Nothing extraordinary is ever easy. I wish I could sit here and say it was easy, but it's not. So check out the classes. Start your education today. And, I hope to see you guys on the learning side of things. Check out the chat room, check out the classes, and, let's push forward. Because I think ultimately the markets will be around for some time. It'll be here after we're dead and gone. And so whilst we're here, we might as well push it. We're never going to have a better time than today. So, it's now or never. Let's do whatever is necessary to ensure success. Ladies and gentlemen, that's where I'm going to end it off. I'll catch you guys in some shorts over the weekend. And again on Monday. The monthly recap actually will come out on Sunday, so watch out for that. How did we do on the month of November? You guys will be able to find out on Sunday. All right. Stay safe, stay green. It's been your favorite YouTuber, Relentless Trader. And I am, of course, signing out. Hit that thumbs up. I'll catch you guys later.